It's Stephen of Bland Designs, and today what I want to show you is what I've been working on for the last couple of weeks, getting ready for a workshop for some retired teacher friends of mine. And we're doing a Christmas theme. So we have three projects on the go. One, we're going to make a Christmas tree out of either a magazine or a book, and I'm going to talk about that in a few minutes. We're going to do some 4 different cards that have some unique features to them, especially this little card here, which slides in and slides out. Really cool. And what I call the exploding box, which is not going to be Christmas themed. It's going to be more generic as a gift, but it all opens up like this. So I'll be showing you all of these things in just a minute or two. And all of these things you can find the instructions for on YouTube. If you look for Christmas tree page folding, I think you should find it there. The cards are my design with the exception of the slider card, and again you can find the instructions on YouTube for that. It's just called the double slider card. And the exploding box, there's plenty of videos about that as well. So what I'm going to do in this video is not talk so much about the actual step-by-step process on how to make these things. I'm just going to show them to you and give you an overall feel for them, since the instructions for all these things can be found on YouTube easily enough. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so as I mentioned, in my workshop I'm going to have 3 different projects. Now we're meeting at 9:30 in the morning, going to 4 o'clock in the afternoon with a break for lunch. So I'm not sure if we're going to get through all these projects or not in that time period, but we'll give it a shot. First one we're going to start with is a book sculpture Christmas tree. Now I had showed the group my book sculpture, and there's a video on boy, rented lips today. Really, it's been a while since I've made a video. Anyways, bear with me. I have a video showing book sculpture, which is basically folding pages in certain ways and with an old book. So I found on YouTube several videos that showed you how to fold an old book to get this shape of a Christmas tree. Now this particular one was my first effort at this, and in this case what I did was I took an old hardcover book, removed the cover from it, and did the folding, and it doesn't take that long to fold the pages to create the basic shape. Then I sprayed it with green spray ink to give it its color, and then I just went through my stash drawer and I found different odds and ends of things that I could put together to look like decorations on the tree. I think this one came out maybe a little gaudy. I got a little carried away with my embellishments. So that was my first effort. Then I found a video talking about how to make one of these trees using a magazine. Hope that's all in the shot. And I kind of like this one for the fact that it's taller. Of course, it depends on the size of book that you use as well. I also found folding the pages in a magazine a little easier, especially when you got to the last few pages, than doing it with a book. It wasn't quite as tight. But the one thing I don't like about this, and maybe it had to do with the magazine I picked, I think I used an old chatelaine that I picked up at Value Village. What I didn't like is trying to get it to fluff out evenly all the way around. Actually, you have the same problem with the other style as well, but then you get this big hole in the back, and I didn't like that. And I still haven't been able to get it to curve around to that, so this one might be best placed in a corner somewhere. Okay, the tree that we're actually going to make is this one. Same technique as using the hardcover book, except this is with a paperback with about 150 to 200 pages. You fold it, you spray it to give it color, and then I just added some beads with a glue gun around it, a little less gaudy than the first one. Really, it'll be up to them how they want to decorate them. And also, you don't get the same gaps as you got with the magazine tree. So that's the first project we're going to be doing, and I'll take some video of the workshop as we're working on it so you can see it in action. The next project at the workshop is going to be the exploding box. Now originally my intent was to make this into a Christmas theme using double-sided Christmas paper. Have I ever had a lot of problems finding double-sided Christmas paper? Actually, I'm having a lot of problems finding double-sided paper. Michael's used to sell it in pads, but they don't seem to have it anymore, and I don't have access here in my area to a Joann's or a Hobby Lobby or an AC Moore. The only other place is DeSers, and they really don't have a lot of stuff when it comes to scrapbooking paper to choose from. So I guess I'm going to have to resort to getting double-sided paper by ordering it online somewhere. But then I got thinking about it anyways. Why not do a generic exploding box, which they could give as a gift to somebody, but would be appropriate all year round with whatever they want to put inside of it. You can find instructions to how to make one of these on YouTube. I happen to have a Cricut, as you know, and one of the cartridges actually cuts out the layers that you need for making an exploding box. So that's really easy. So what I've created for each person for the workshop is they'll each get a kit that will have all the paper pre-cut for them, and all they'll have to do is assemble it and add the embellishments and inserts to the inside. So if you've never seen an exploding box before, this is what it looks like. It's a box, okay, with a lid, and when you open it up, it explodes. It opens up. Now this one is going to be my prototype, my model for the ladies in the workshop. So it doesn't have anything inside of it yet, but I have created a variety of things that they'll be able to decorate any way they wish, to customize it and to put into the box. But you can see you have all these different layers and it all explodes out. Now I'll show you one here that I made some time ago for myself. Okay, excuse the embellishment on the top. I got a little carried away with one of the Cricut discs when I made this rosette at the top, and it's a little big, but okay, so it was my first effort. Shoot me. Open it up, and now you can see the embellishments inside, and there's places here to put pictures. I created a little pocket that has a fold-out accordion little page for more pictures or journaling, whatever. Lots of little places in here to put things on, some other shapes, ovals. Here I have another fold-out little thing. There's several of these as well. So places for pictures, and you'll notice I inked these in different ways, and that's basically what they're going to do. I've cut out all these pieces for them so that they can use various inking methods to customize them for themselves. Here's one that folds out, it's 3 little layers, that kind of thing. So I think this will be a lot of fun, and doing this along with the Christmas tree, I'm not sure how much we're going to get done, but this should be they saw one of these when they were here the last time at my place for the workshop, and they really want to learn how to make one, so we're going to make one. So that's the second project that we're going to be doing, and again I will take video as the workshop progresses so that you can see what we're doing and how it all works out, and I hope it all works out pretty good. So on to the third project. So the third project in the workshop is to make 4 Christmas cards. Might be a little over ambitious in the time that we will have. But again, I've created kits for them, so if we don't get through all 4 of them, they'll at least have the kit to take home and be able to make the card on their own. The first card is, I call it the Victorian Pocket Card, or the Noel card. And on this card, you can see I've got 4 vellum envelopes that I cut these with the Cricut and put them together. And to save time in the workshop, I actually made each of them 4 vellum envelopes, and I did the gluing as far as constructing them together. Then they'll be able to print whatever they want across it, as long as it's only 4 letters. That's why I call it the Noel card. And inside are little tags, and these are actually glued in. They don't come out, but I've pre-cut those, and I found a whole bunch of images on Google Images of Victorian Christmas cards, and so I cut out a bunch of pictures from those. I printed them, sized them down to fit, and they'll be able to pick from a selection of about 20 of these, 4 they like. And then there's some butcher's cord here. The background is simply a piece of card cut a little smaller than the main card, inked the edges with that, and I stamped using a text stamp in the background. Inside we have a card with a stamp, and I have a lot of different Christmas stamps, so they can choose whatever they like as an image. They'll be able to put a seasonal greeting if they wish and put it on here whatever way they like. Here I colorized this a little bit with a wash from a watercolor crayon. So I'm just going to show them how they can do that, but they can do whatever method they want depending on the stamp that they want to put in here. So that's one of the cards. Second card, get it unstuck here, is very basic. We're going to use the Cuttlebug embossing folders to emboss, and then I'm going to show them how to use ink to ink around the edges and to ink the raised relief that's here. We're also going to show them how to do some embossing using embossing powder and a heat gun to make these snowflakes. And I've done pre-cutting of all these elements. Again, it's a kit to save time. They'll be able to do inking, to stamp a message, whatever they wish to stamp there, and glue it down. And on the inside, this one's kind of a 3D. So it has a little tree in the back. Again, it went through the Cuttlebug embossing folders, and I did some inking on that. And I have pre-cut this piece that they'll glue in, but they'll decorate it with stamps, whatever way they like. And then we have a little ornament we hang from the window, a little star for the top of the tree. I call that the Christmas window card. So that's card number 2. Card number 3, I call it the Victorian Christmas card. This one's fairly simple and fast to make. It's got the basic elements, you know, a background onto the basic cardstock. I use some little corner pieces, gold ones, these are photo corners, right? To add a little accent. And then I've cut out for them a variety of, again, some of those vintage Victorian Christmas card images. And they're just going to tear them and then ink them and place them on here. And I've also given them a page out of a book that I have pre-dyed with walnut ink. And again, they'll just rip it and edge it with some ink and add it to that. I've included a little button that I've cut the shank off at the back, and they'll be able to glue that on wherever they like on the front. And the inside, again, the same idea. Background of text paper that's been aged. We've got the Victorian Christmas card all ripped out kind of a thing, and then they can put a sediment in here and do whatever they like. The last one is probably the coolest one. This is the double slider card, and they asked me to show them how to make this because I showed them one the last workshop sort of as a teaser. And so we're going to make this one. This one's going to be the hardest one to teach them how to make, I think, because it's a little tricky getting the track inside. But if you do a search on YouTube videos, you will, under double slider card, you will find how to do this. And once you've made 1 or 2 of them, it's pretty easy. So all it is, it's one piece, and the neat thing is, you pull this, and you get this. And when you see, we'll be using, I have tags pre-cut for them for all of this. I've pre-cut all the parts. They can pick for the rubber stamps they want to use and the colors they want to use. And they do some inking on the card, add some bows, and there it is. So this one's really cool. And it just slides back in here as well. Now I had thought about doing some envelope making because I've got my We Are Memory Makers envelope punch board. And we might, but I have a feeling on this day we're not going to have a lot of time for this. And the problem too is when you get together with a group of retired teachers, people that I used to work with, well, we do a lot of talking too. So that eats up in the time as well. So anyways, that's what I have planned. And as I said, I'll post a short video showing the workshop in action for you as well. So enjoy.